not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
Okay, so God made a natural intermission, which was a good thing because it's something that I wanted to do. That I'm just moving with the momentum of what was already going on. I wasn't able to get to it at that time. But so one thing I wanted to do is do a little art. And because we are talking about a journey of, what the journey of overcoming looks like, what it feels like, maybe we can do just a picture of what that journey looks like. It could be individual pictures. It could be, a heart, a star, and those things can represent things. It could be one big picture of a forest. It could be whatever the journey of overcoming looks like to you and to me. And I feel that,
No, I'm listening. I was like,
And I want to say that this even everything that represents this YouTube channel, P.R.O.O.F TV, everything was God led. Even this, and someone who's next door just brings, since Tamari has been born, everybody loves to give him things. They love to give us things, and the lady just started giving us arts and crafts things, and this is all in the process of what God is was building this YouTube, and so I just felt like, as adults, sometimes people lose, they forget how to be a kid. They feel like, I'm too grown for that, whatever. We are proof that God can help us to remove that ego, to not see yourself more highly than you ought to know that there is joy in playfulness, that there's growth in playfulness. I know there's a scripture that says like that it's easier for a child to enter into the kingdom than through the eye of a needle than someone with a massive riches. It's very important to have that faith of a child and keep those characteristics that the world has made us rush being children to hurry up and be a grown up, so that your energy and your energy can be siphoned and be used in this world, working, and be rushed being children. Like, you're the oldest child, okay, I need you to really be help me co-parent and watch these kids, and like, so it's very important to know that being a child, having childlike qualities are very important. So God put that on my heart to make that a part of this whole process. So with all that being said, as we still are building and talking, just what does that journey of becoming look like? What does it feel like when you close your eyes and you think of the things that you have experienced and your process of the old you and being born again to this new version? What does that feel like, and what does that look like? And then we'll see, maybe we'll be able to get through it all. Maybe we won't. Maybe it's something to start here and complete, when we go, when we're not on the channel.
Yeah, just to give you some, and that sounds like a good thing, even in a daily way, because your journey, I mean, what you see changes, changes daily. If we really being honest with ourselves, like, everybody like, oh, I want to know what my purpose is. Your purpose is to live. What does it feel like to live? A lot of times we're not really living. We're living through the eyes of somebody else, and then it causes jealousy. Then it causes a comparison. We get to comparing and looking like, oh, well, my life should be like this. No, what do you want your life to look like today? Maybe draw your life. If you don't have the words, because sometimes people may I don't want to write or whatever. Like maybe you could create your words or for your day. What vision do you see and draw it, and then go on with your day and remember that drawing that you did this morning. Or
Yeah.
things come along. That can be a start because we have to start somewhere if we really want to do it. Some people like, oh well, I have to say, me working for God, when Pastor Mike said different shifts, and he talked about them different shifts and those different times,
Yes.
that thing had changed my life that day. Okay, because it is some people that work day shift. I'm not tripping about the ones that work in 3 in the afternoon and 12 in the afternoon and those, but that ain't my work hours. I mean, I work all the hours, but my main, I like to get up like how Jesus did before the sun up. And I don't want to make an excuse of why I'm not. Why? And even if I lay down and choose to lay down 7 or 8 o'clock, I still feel good because, like, girl, I know how to get up at 5 if I need to without making an
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
Without making an excuse of why I ain't getting up. So that that's good,
And,
right?
and that's something that, um, just in this whole process of things that God had to peel away, the conditioning that was like encased around us that really had our minds cluttered and blocked from, like the thing that I sent you, the Donald Lawrence uh, live.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, he said the enemy has you tricked to think that how did the lender become the borrower? How did you have a I wrote it on here. You have a ruler in you. How did we go from this to this, thinking so lowly, so such level, so such low self-esteem about ourselves? And that is that conditioning, and to be able to come out of that and to live a life of harmony and peace and freedom. And something I even been doing lately is spinning around in a circle with my arms out. Um,
Mm. Mm.
Um, I did it the other day in the supermarket, and today's like, Mom, I'm looking for eggs, and you're over here spinning in a circle. Yeah, because I felt like that's necessary to know, like, that how much space, how much openness there is, that there can be also.
Girl, today I was walking around like, I was like, wow. I don't know why I went to the store today. I went to call my cousin. I took him to court and everything today. It's like soon as he got in the car, I just felt like, wow. And I just kept saying, wow. I was in the gas station. I said, oh, I'm pumping the gas. I get out the car. I'm like, wow. And I don't know why I kept saying, wow. I just felt so good. And I just feel like you can be happy. I walk out and I just do a little dance, you know what I'm saying? When I walk out the gas station, my cousin just stayed looking at me like, like what is wrong with you? But whatever makes you feel good right now. We talking about even being your authentic self. Even as we sit here and we just having a nice conversation, drawing a little thing, you talking, drawing, we talking, you draw, and you on out there, y'all watch the video, you draw as you listen to.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah,
just a moment right now. Then we're gonna see, but that is this journey is just journey alone. I feel
yeah.
like just the thought of someone even coming out of their mouth to say, "Look at my phone went off. I'm
Mm,
on a journey." Oh
yeah,
God. God
yeah,
wants to hear that. He hears our tears. He hears. I cried out. I cried out. Psalms 3 and 4 says, I cried out to the Lord. He heard my voice from his holy hills. I cried
yeah,
out. Okay. You have to have that word in you. You have to have your something just you
cause
gotta have that word. You gotta have that confidence that no, I know what I know, and I can't hear what nobody else saying, because they doing is talking. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, and that is something that you have to be. Some people are not comfortable going out to dinner by themselves, or they think it's the craziest thing to want to do things alone. Well, that's one thing that I'm learning is when God has tucked me away, it is not meant for me to be out and about and doing different things. And when it's time to pop out, as they say, whatever season that I'm in, don't buck against that. Don't feel like, well, I should be able to do X, Y, Z, because you know that everything is a season. For one, we know when we've seen when God will, have us traveling and doing different things and experiencing different states and countries versus when it's time to be in the womb, so to speak, and being pruned and growing and evolving. It requires you to be tucked away. You can't be everywhere being other things for other people while you're in the process of in that process of becoming. It's just different seasons and different times, and doing and understanding that you don't have to succumb to the judgment of other people and where they think you should be or what you should be doing. Because I'm gonna tell you, in these last few years, I have met a lot of people. I lived in different states, and I experienced a lot of people. And when people have an idea of you, or they perceive you a certain way, or they know you from school or whatever, they're going to project their expectations onto you. Now, are you going to buckle under the pressure of what people say who you should be by society standards, by a certain age, or what you should have accomplished? Or do you know that you are living in a world within a world where you're not um, boxed in by the world system? And yes, I may look a certain way, or whatever the case may be, but you do not and could not fathom the joy of living and just having the free space and time to get up at the crack of dawn, to lay like you said, you was in the toga, and that reminded me of being when we was in Minnesota, and you and your friend went to the waterfall that time, and I was in the sheet. That's what I had that day. Like, that's just how I'm feeling, and I don't want to go. Y'all can go have a great time. I just knew that was something that God had for me at that time. Now, I could have just wanted to go with the crowd, and because we were talking about the waterfall, we have been trying to make it there days prior. That day, God said no. But how it all turned out, with the apple and coming back and me offering to make y'all something, not knowing, it's just like being where you're meant to be without the pressure of feeling like you got to be somewhere else because of what people may think.
Yes.
It's just it, and that's all.
Putting you first.
Yeah, despite what people, because people are going to say whatever at any level that you're at. They're going to have, because sometimes I've learned when you are showing up as your full self, that means different things to different people. But I could be in an atmosphere where drinking, everybody's drinking, and not have to drink, and I'm still having a great time. I don't need to be, or vice versa. Like, we don't have to succumb to these things, and we should notice as adults, but we don't really realize how conditioned we are, and how much we really do care what people think, even though we say we don't. You just, and that's something that God has really. Go ahead.
Until you don't.
Until you don't.
Until you don't. Because it'll be quick. It's easy to say the words out your mouth versus the action. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in faith without works is dead, right? You have to, then people always took, and it's just like right now, we have to not get out of those old things. That old wine can't go into the new wine skin. Even in that part, like those old things, this is a new day and age. We're not in the box TVs now. We got flat screen TVs. It's not black and white. There is color. And we have to really walk into that era where we can use multiple colors. You can have many ideas. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, if that is who gives strength to you, because it matters if it's somewhere else you get your strength from. Everybody not getting their power from the source. Well, because everybody's source is not the same. Okay, let me re-say that. Everybody is getting their power from a source, but The sources are not the same right now.
Okay.
Hey, girl, that's good. That
Okay.
come on,
Okay.
baby. That's good. That's God. That ain't when it's good, it's God. It ain't nothing but God when it's good. Okay. I'm Proof. We sitting on Proof TV talking about it's Proof, and Proof is
Okay.
and it's really amazing. So just knowing what you want and being and knowing that wherever you at is where you at, and nothing starts, the party can't start until you get there.
Okay. Can you say that again, please?
The party don't start till you get there. Period. Whenever,
Okay.
I don't care where it is, and I always say that no matter whether I go live, no matter if it's a Zoom meeting, no matter what we doing, like even if you're watching a video, these people could put this video 5 years ago. It never mattered up until just now. We could have did this video 3 weeks ago, and you just not sitting here seeing it today on this day. But yeah, when you get it, you gonna need it, and it's for you.
Yeah.
Stop. We gotta learn how to stop overthinking. I've been watching Chosen, rewatching Chosen again, right?
Uh-huh.
And 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 it comes to me to think like, look at all the 12 disciples and look at the 12 things that the 12 disciples really looking like 12 consciousness or 12 decision makers or 12 ideas or 12 ways of living. You know what I'm saying? If you really, because when you think about a thing, you have to go deep within the surface, like we saying, oh, new things. You have to think of a new way. Proof TV is really like seeing a thing, and the wise man don't have to experience things that they can see, and things that other people have experienced. They learn from being observant and not absorbers.
Yeah.
Wisdom
Yeah.
comes from
Wait.
observing and not
Yeah.
absorbing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to ask you to repeat it again, but you did anyway. Thank you. Being an observer and not an absorber. And people don't really realize, it's like you don't really realize how much you absorb. We
Mm-hmm.
people don't, unless you are conscious of it and you're transmuting and things like that. We don't realize somebody has a bad attitude at your job. Now they came in ruffling your stuff up. Now they done ticked you off because they done transferred that energy over to you. When you
Mm-hmm.
are an observer, you see it already. You know what I mean, from afar off, and let me just close my door, or let me, do other things, or just be, if it's somebody I got to interact with, just being aware of how I'm interacting with them. But if you're just going through your day, just letting the day dictate to you how to feel, man. And I remember the days. Thank God for rescuing me and giving me a new life and a new vision of how my days can go, regardless of the situations that may come about.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And don't trip about the small stuff. That's what I just feel like. I really felt like that I was gonna say. I didn't feel like that was the only words that I could say. And don't sweat the small stuff. Don't trip about, and really anything outside of yourself is the small stuff. We want to do things right. We want to get it perfect. Just like right now. Only way you would know that Proof TV is gonna work is if you worked it.
Yeah.
Only way you was gonna know that a thing work is if you work. Is so many people worried about what such and such gonna say. It's some amazing people out here that pop them cards.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to stop nobody journey, because when we talking about journey, you don't know where that's taking you. Whether
Yeah.
because I know how I was when I first started. I used to be like, I don't want to go on Facebook because people, my family, them. But now I got another reason that I just don't want to do it on Facebook. It has nothing to do with not me showing them, not me showing myself to them, because my story is still gonna be my story no matter what. I am amazing at what I do. It's just that everybody don't deserve that part of you. They can know that part of you. Never bury your gifts. When you're a great speaker, when you're a great talker, you are a great speaker. You are a great conversationalist. You are a beautiful, you are amazing. So you need to be shown to the world. Those things that you see in yourself, that don't bury those gifts of you. Don't bury your smile. Don't bury your conversation. Don't bury that you think outside of the box because you standing stand outside of the box because
Yes,
that you
yes.
was once, you know how it feels to be put in. So I appreciate you for even opening up proof because nobody would know. They like, how would they know? How would they know that you are talented? How would God know that you cherish the gifts that He has placed inside of you that sit within you? Like, how would He know if you thankful if you just keep saying thank you, but you ain't got no action behind your thank you?
Yes. That's great. And that is so true. And that's why I can say, and I'm grateful to be here to say that I am proof that when you trust God and you block out the outside noise and you do the things that seem like quirky or me, like I said, I talk with my hands, and I remember being at this school and they was doing like mock interviews, and she was like, oh, maybe you should try to sit on your hands. That don't I can't I was like, I can't get my hands have my words, my hands, they are a team and they work together.
Yeah.
Now, but it's like doing the things that we would say like, nah, that ain't what God is telling me to do. Leaning into that, and so many experiences that I've had first time doing things just by
Yes.
knowing that if this is something that God has brought to me, clearly I already have it within me to see it through. So yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah, I was sweating at the beginning. Yeah, it's like it's things that I see that I can do differently and enhance the experience. But I'm showing God that I'm willing to do things that I've never done.
You
Leave.
willing to open to the experience,
Okay.
being open, even us sharing our we drawing and putting the thing down, and I just sat here and got a few little pieces together. Whenever you ready to share, I hope y'all listening, whoever
Yeah.
catching this, and by this time you should have had you a piece of paper and you just sitting here listening. But we ain't here to convert nobody and tell nobody what to do. We just
Okay.
gonna show that we proof, and this no matter who sees this video, God sees it. And we're talking about doing things for eternal happiness, not for just mere smokes and mirrors. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just a
Yeah.
smoke mirror thing. This is not no smoke and mirror. When we get off of here, that really did happen just now on this video to say, maybe when I get up, I start drawing. Maybe this is my season
Yeah.
to make me a drawing every morning and make me a sun so I can be the sun. Make me
Yeah.
the light so I can be the light. So that's
Yeah.
something that's not only is we helping others, we helping ourselves. This is you guiding you, and I appreciate you for adding me up in here because that's something good. I feel I just got so much construction paper. I got so many things like I can draw, I can do. Maybe I do wake up every day for the next few days and however many days to go and say like, yeah, let me just
Yeah.
thing or draw, sit here and just draw and let God take me because I ain't ever really did this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is part of my journey, and I'm willing to share it. And I'm
Wow. Yes, please, please. I
okay.
didn't tell you when we finished already. Please, I would love for you to share it.
So the first thing I drew, okay, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Like the first thing I drew was this eye.
Okay.
Because in part of my journey, I've had to learn how to stop worrying about the eyes that's watching,
Mm.
because and the tears that will be shed and the tears that I shed, these are 3 separate tears. Okay, I had to um with the eyelashes, and I have to be okay with the eyes. And not only is this my eye, this is everybody eye. I have to be okay with what I seen and what the eyes of the other anybody else seen. You have some long tears. Those be them my tears, them long, they come down like that.
You
And
different
then
kind of
each
too?
tear is like this drop tear that's like a loud tear. Okay, those be like those boo-hoo, really, Lord help me, Jesus. And this middle one is a kind of short one because that's the outside tears. Those are somebody else's eyes, and those fake tears because they short. They only cry for a second. So that matters when I shared that. And I got the lips because in this part of the journey, you have to stop worrying about people's mouth. The lying, their mouth, those that red lips, that's the flesh. The flesh will take you out. The flesh of the lips. That's why I use the color red on that anyway. The bottom is I have a heart. I got this heart right here. And this heart, and it has a ribbon in it. And I made this ribbon because when I used to go to school, we used to make ribbons. I used to draw hearts with the ribbons in
With
it.
the ribbon around it, yeah.
And so this is one, this heart is my heart. This the three. This how I went. Once every number that I'm going, I'm just showing you like that, how I drew them. So this heart, this is a heart at the bottom. That's with my name in it. And you can't really see my name because it's not about my name. This heart, this journey is about love with the ribbon. Each part of love must have purpose. So this part in the bottom, this is me, my heart. And my name is like it's there, but everybody can't see it.
Yeah.
And then I got word because it matters that the words that you speak, if I'm talking about the mouth, the word. And the next one I drew is like a shooting. The shooting star was the last one, but I'll tell you about the last right now. This is the shooting star. Like, be this shooting star. Be the star that doesn't stay still. You know what I'm saying? My light has to move, so I'm moving at a rapid pace. I got 3 question marks up here because it matters with the not know. I keep saying that in this part of the journey, my part of the journey is keep questions, keep question marks. Be open to not feeling like you know everything. I want to know more. There is more. I want to know more. I want to breathe more. If you're going to take meditation, you're going to want to know different ways to meditate. That ain't just one way. It's multiple ways. I don't just have to do it like that. I can't actually get a person to help me. Yeah, I can do it on here, but I could have been a YouTubeologist off meditation but that wasn't enough for me. I needed substance in it. I needed to know, what is meditation? Why am I doing this? What is this purpose for? First, you have to learn. So I had to keep a lot of questions, okay?
Yeah.
And the last one is another heart at the top. The heart at the top has the steel sign in it, and it's golden. So mine's down here is green and it's covered with gold, but this top one is automatically gold, and this ribbon is big and it's really and it has neighbor in it.
Wow.
So God says, love God like you love your
Love
neighbor.
you.
You hear what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that word is matter up in here, but the word in the heart is neighbor in me. So because God lives within me. So we in me. So he said, and love your neighbor. So I made sure that my neighbor had the golden heart. So I treat them really good, no matter who my neighbor is, anybody outside of myself. So I
Yeah.
love you. Thank you, Wessel. Let me share.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm over here cheesing because I wish, like you get visions and stuff. I wish I would have wrote it down. Those question marks, I already knew that was going to be something, and I didn't know what the question marks represented. In my mind, it was like a maze, and on the outside of it, one of the stops was question marks. And I think I saw it either earlier today or yes, I don't even know, but I'm just shaking my head like, wow, because I already saw those question marks. I just didn't know what they meant or where they would come from, and here they are on your on your paper. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. This is great. I just want to say I'll share mine, even though whether it's complete because I'm finished right now. We're gonna say that.
Yes.
The first page that I had, I started to draw a heart on it, but I didn't know I didn't know how to. This is a tree, not broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I wanted the tree to be on top of the heart, instead of being like this. So then I ripped it out and I started another page. But I started to draw a heart myself because I feel like the heart is the center of it all. That's
Where your heart, your treasure is.
that's where you okay. And treasure is that tree, okay? Like in real life. Yeah, where your heart is, that's where your treasure is. And despite what the experiences are that we go through, the highs and lows, things that feel good and don't, your heart posture still matters because that will dictate how you perceive the world, how you perceive the things that you're experiencing, and it'll help you to embrace things more when I know that all things are working together for my good. And with the pastor might say that he's in all things, that one translation. So it's like I embrace these things. She said I asked her to let me know when they were on their way, and she just let me know that they're out. So
That's
I'm
right.
going to share my picture, and my family is about to come in, so we
Okay.
work with that. So I drew, instead of the heart, I drew like a river.
Mm.
And this is me over here, planted by the rivers of water, and my fruit
Mm.
that's on there. But you know, with a tree, you could just be still and
Yeah.
get fed, and what you need to blossom is going to blossom. When it's time for the leaves to fall, they're going to fall. But you're always nurtured and watered and have the things that you need because you're connected to the source of,
Mm.
of all things. And that really is how I have been on this journey to back to me, back to me. All things start and end with God. So I feel like a lot of times, yes, we need to give all glory to God and make that connection very relevant. But I feel like in some things don't can go without being said because if I'm here and I'm living, I'm speaking to you, and I'm breathing, you're living and speaking to me, God is the source of all life. So some things don't need to be said, but they say what's understood don't need to be said or something that
Explain.
explained, okay? So, but it was very important to me to learn how to be still. That was something that I did not know was acceptable to do. Just being in constant motion, working these doubles, doing what I need to do, and wasn't in God's will for where He had the purpose He had for my soul. I was
Mm.
doing the things that Terry could do, on this in this 3D world, but there was like my soul has a purpose. There's something I wasn't living in my true, solid authenticity of being myself. I was a culmination of wanting to be myself. I still am myself, but I'm also being a person that I feel people want to see of me, my family, and I did grow up in church, all my life up until maybe around the pandemic time. I think that was like a natural thing. People stopped being in church buildings and stuff.
Mhm.
So God had to reprogram me from the God that the church taught me that God was to, yes, child, um, to who God wanted me to build a better, more personal connection with,
Mhm.
which was the battery that I needed to live life the way that I do and experience things the way that I do. And I'm okay with the now, because the now is always moving. The now is now,
Mhm.
now, now, now. You know what I'm saying? And those other nows are now the past. That makes sense.
Yes.
If that
Yes.
makes sense, and I say even through this process, learning to be this tree and knowing that all that I need is it's not going to miss me. It's literally passing me by. I didn't have a brown marker to do roots because I wanted to do that. But that was something that had to learn how to do, even in the windy seasons when it's like people are judgmental and they're talking about you and and it's like your brain is on things above, and the average human, they're on things that are just that they can see. And how can I place value on you by
Mhm.
how you look and what you're wearing and what you have? And God says you are an heir. You are royalty. So regardless of what's on your back or what's chirping, from your key chirping, whatever you chirping the door to open, those things don't, they add to your value, but that's not what makes you of value to me.
That's right.
And these are the things that God values is being true in who He has designed you to be, being unapologetically your full self and all that. Like the other day, you talked about something we were talking about in conversation, and you were talking about like how people hide to smoke or drink or whatever, and you're like, well, God is there. God, if you make your bed in hell, God is there. So why are you choosing to hide what you're doing? Because you think God is not behind your closed door, or
Okay.
like make it make sense, But these are the mental games that we trick ourselves with. But that's because of the people who instill that in us, that God is that type
Mhm.
of God. And so we feel like we have to hide, and God doesn't love us fully in who we fully are.
I am light.